What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response, and as is customary, once again, it's Saturday, so we're going in on another debate, and once again, we've got Cenk, Uygur, and a couple other panelists that, you know, I just love the left. I love how they argue. This is all just great. Check all this out, y'all.
That's what this is. This isn't an argument that is meant to be hateful. I mean, it's not even opinionated. These athletes are males, and males do not belong in women's sports. Really that simple.
Wajah, I just don't understand why anyone, given what we've just heard, why anyone would think this is right or fair or equal or does anything to promote anything to do with women's sports or rights to fairness and equality. But by all means, try and defend it.
You start off with the clip of Trump saying he's going to promise to keep men out of women's bodies. And you know what? Go ahead and run with that, because Republicans want to have zero regulation, but they want to regulate women's bodies. They're attacking women. They're attacking biracial people. They're attacking Kamala Harris over her race. Now they're attacking LGBTQ people, and they're attacking Iman Khalif. I am here for Iman Khalif and winning. She medaled. She was born a woman. She identifies as a woman. It's female on her passport. She's boxed women. You are quoting the IBA that is run by Russia, the same IBA that is discredited by the Olympics Commission. The Olympics Commission doesn't even look at their testing and the results, completely discredited it. And the more that you attack these female boxers, the more you misgender them by calling them he. Look what's happening around the world. People are disgusted by it. They're like, this is hateful. This is cruel.
No,
this is
not.
mean. You're attacking this
You're
poor
wrong.
Algerian boxer, making a fake story, quoting the Russia's IBA, which is discredited. So go for it.
Wajah,
go for it.
Wajah, let me just explain. I have not misgendered either of these boxers. I've called them she. That's fine. No problem with that. They were born with female reproductive organs. Well, I'm told they were born with female reproductive organs, but they have XY chromosomes. They didn't appeal against their ban. They had Hang on, Cenk. Hang on, Cenk. I'll come to you. But Wajah, they didn't appeal when they had the chance to appeal. And the simple way they can clear this up before they box again, they can actually just say, here we are, I'm prepared to take a test. Let's do a simple swab sex test. And if it turns out they have an XY chromosome, would you then accept that that makes them biologically male? And would you accept that should make them ineligible to take part in a boxing competition against a biological female? Yes or no?
If you and Michael will take a test proving that you're male and submit the results,
yes, I will.
I'll be fine
I'll do
doing
it now.
the same.
I'll do it now.
Okay, really?
Sure.
So wonderful.
Of course.
Grass, you'll do it right now? Let's do it. Do it right now, and then Iman Khalif will show you all the records where she was born a female, identifies as female, has female on her passport, went through all the testing. The Olympics Commission says she's fine. Boxed females, lost to females,
all they've
beat
seen
females,
is her passport.
and she's from Algeria.
She failed the sex test. They've just seen her passport.
If she failed the test, if she failed the test, she would not be boxing right now. The IBA is run by Russia, which is discredited. This is why the Olympic Commission says that we do not take the result. They laugh at them. So why
won't they do a test?
Since last year, they discredit them.
Why won't they do a test?
Because they don't have to. Because they realize it's nonsense fiction. You are going out of your way to put a target on this innocent woman who came from poverty and has literally worked so hard to medal. And you have created a fictional target and a bogey woman, and I hope she sues people, and I hope she medals, and I hope she wins in life. I love it.
I hope she sues people, because you know what? If she sues people, then we'll find out the truth.
It's just great. So when the evidence doesn't fit their narrative and Russia happens to be involved, it's all of a sudden Russian disinformation. Oh no, they're discredited. Yeah, no, that's not a very good argument. Plus, they're getting outside of the underlying argument here. Men identifying as trans are competing in women's sports and destroying women in certain instances, and we don't like that. We see what's going on with the Olympics. By the way, I just read an article earlier that lady, I'll call her a lady just out of respect, won gold medal. So a man has won gold in female boxing. We'll go with that. Let's just say that. So, but their argument is, oh, no, that's discredited. But we're going to see here in a little bit, is it so discredited? Yeah, it's not so much. But you gotta love their arguments here. When faced with facts and evidence, all they do is throw out a distraction. Hey, Piers. Hey, Mike. Why don't you guys take a test to prove that you're male? right? Like just throwing you right off of the freaking trail, right? This is what the left does. And then they immediately pivot to appealing to your emotions. Oh, well, she did this and she did that and she come from poverty and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, so there is some really weird things going on with this person, right? She obviously has female parts, but has XY chromosomes. Now, they try to deny that. Now, come to find out, later in this video, you're going to see, when they done the test, they test for XX chromosomes, and they failed that test. But let's keep going and see where this leads.
On the planet that has any sort of common sense, and of course, this is why only Democrats disagree with this, go, if it's a man, they cannot compete with women. This is not about anything that has to do with trans people. But of course, naturally, what you start attacking, oh, you're attacking Kamala about race. She's the one that's saying she's Indian and black. We don't care. I don't think race should be talked about,
because
but you guys make it your entire platform. So who cares? It doesn't matter. What are her policies? You guys don't talk about that. And when then Trump brings it up, you get upset. It should be about protecting women. We don't care. I don't care. I mean, I live in LA. These are the least of my worries. I'm too busy trying to make sure I don't get robbed walking down the street. Yeah, and it's like protect women, keep men out of women's sports. There is no one on the planet who should be able to disagree with it, but of course, Democrats do, because I don't know. You guys are nuts. I don't know what to tell you. This is a very black and white situation. This is literally just about protecting the woman. Then again, I know you guys don't really know what a woman is, so of course you might have confusion, and especially when you're all about, like, women's rights. Okay, well, you guys weren't about women's rights when it came to forcing them to get a vaccine, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay, so in a slight distraction from the actual issue here, she starts talking about Kamala Harris. And she's like, we don't care about race, which is truth, right? The Democrats constantly do this. They'll say we're attacking women, we're attacking LGBTQ people. No, we're pointing out facts, and then you guys call it an attack. No, we're not attacking her heritage, for crying out loud. She even said, we don't care what her race is. We don't care that she's half or quarter black and half Indian and whatever the hell else. It doesn't matter. We're just pointing out she's not black. She's not outright black. And then all of a sudden that's an attack. But you got to love what Cenk does right here, right? She says, we don't care, and he comes in, well, you're attacking her. No, we're not. We're pointing out facts, dude. That is what we're doing. Pointing out obvious facts, but you guys love to take and twist the narrative. Talk about this all the time. The Democrats, they have no arguments outside of emotions and twisting the narrative. This is what they do best, folks. This is what they do best.
If it turns out they are both XY chromosome, would you then change your mind? Yes or no?
So you guys have no idea what my positions are. I've been fighting the left on this issue for a while, and a lot of people got really mad at us. I believe the Olympics should do the testing. I believe that it doesn't help trans women to compete in women's events, especially in contact sports. Now, having said that, this whole thing is based on a lie. The IBA never showed that test. It's a Russian loon who runs it. It was a Russian sponsor, their only sponsor, and they were worried that she was going to be. Hold on, let me actually finish, because you've been lying about it the whole time, Piers. Can I just finally tell the truth to your viewers? They never presented that case. There's no test. They totally made it up because they were worried that she was going to be a Russian boxer.
Why didn't they appeal?
She's lost? She's lost.
So, Cenk,
she's lost.
Why didn't she appeal?
She's not some sort of demigod. She doesn't have XY chromosomes.
Why didn't she appeal?
You guys are just totally making it up.
Because no, you're making it up.
Did you watch the press conference yesterday?
No, first of all, Piers, let's go one step at a time. One step at a time. Do you admit that test has never been shown publicly, and you're all taking the word of an absolute Russian lunatic who also said that the IOC was run by a pedophile in chief? Just totally bonkers guy. You've never seen the test.
Let me ask you.
You're pretending it's real when it's never been real.
All right, let me ask you, before I go to Riley, let me just ask you, Cenk. Hang on, Riley, hang on. Hang on, Riley, I'll come to you, Riley. Hang on one sec. Cenk, I'm just going to ask you one more time. If they do another test, as I believe they absolutely should, to preserve the integrity of the Olympics, which promotes fairness and inclusion and equality, but is not doing that to women, if they do another test and it turns out they are both XY chromosome, would you accept that that means they should not be competing in women's sport? Yes or no?
So for the Olympics, she would still qualify, but I would disagree with the Olympics. I don't think she should compete in women's sports if she has XY chromosome. No, but Piers, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, our positions are not at all unreasonable. But you guys, you don't even know that she has XY chromosomes. It's totally made up. But you are so obsessed with this trans issue. You mentioned you have a 12-year-old girl. I have a 12-year-old girl. I don't mind if she competes against trans girls in junior high and high school. What are you going to do? Check the genitals of all those kids? What are you guys, nuts? Now, at the professional level, that's a different story.
I do mind. I can't believe that. So you would be quite happy.
Go check the genitals of all the kids, you lose.
You'd be quite happy if your daughters are getting beaten by a biological.
So you gotta love what Cenk is doing right here. And this is how you get these people. He just said outright, they never showed the test. They told everybody the results of the test. They denied the fighters because they quote-unquote weren't female. They didn't pass this test. But Cenk takes this because we didn't see the test all of a sudden, and because it's Russia, it's Russian disinformation. They're not true. They're all lunatics. They're all freaking crazy. The International Boxing Association, for crying out loud. Right? Because they don't have facts on their side. This is what the left does. They'll twist the narrative, and twist the narrative until it can fit whatever narrative they want it to fit. But Cenk has no argument here. He's just making all this up, right? Because he even said it. They didn't show the test. So we don't know, right? All we can do is take their word for it. Now, the fact that they didn't appeal the decision, that speaks a lot, right? You can always tell reality by actions. Through the actions. Okay, so if they really were female, one would think that they would appeal that decision immediately. Like, no, what are you talking about? Of course I'm female. Blah, 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 blah. But the Olympics, all they needed to see was the passport. Passport's female. There you go. No testing. None of that. I don't even know what to call this. This is one of those weird situations where, okay, she has female genitalia, but XY chromosomes, has the testosterone of a male. Of course, that's not proven, but look at her, him, don't know what to call him. Look at this person, and this person looks like a male. Outright. But, you know, that's not evidence of anything really, but, you know, it kind of speaks to reality. Once again, look at the person, look at the actions, see what they did. Okay, so we get this test. Test comes back, they fail the test for being female. They didn't appeal the test. That speaks a lot to what is really going on here. So when he can't win the argument, he just goes right on to name calling, right? Starts talking about, oh, well, you're just going to go check the genitals of all these kids, you utter lunatic. Tries to push you into a corner, into a box, to where you're like, oh, he's calling me a lunatic. I don't want to check. No, that's not what they do whatsoever, Cenk. That's a red herring, because he knows we're not going to go do that. We can tell normal kids, for crying out loud. Okay, this is another issue, right? We shouldn't be doing this with kids. Kids shouldn't transition. Kids don't know what they are yet, right? They haven't fully developed. When the left is at a loss for an argument, they appeal to emotions. That's not a way to win an argument. And Cenk he is the master at doing this, is the absolute master at trying to find a way to make you look like a lunatic because you want to believe reality, because you don't want to buy into his worldview. All of a sudden, you're Russian disinformation, or you're some sort of lunatic, and you want to go do this and this and this and this. It's utter insanity, and this is why one reason I can't really stand the style that Cenk Uygur debates in. It's BS. He has no arguments here. None whatsoever, because men should not be competing in women's sports. Period.
Do another damn test then. Show the world you're actually biological women, and there's a reason they're not doing it. Riley.
Absolutely. We see a lot of information being pushed out there that these are just cisgender women with elevated levels of testosterone. The IBA made it very clear they did not do testosterone level testing. They never did that, not even one time. We don't know. what these athletes' testosterone levels are. What they did do was test the karyotypes of these athletes. The only requirement was that these athletes had XX chromosomes, and they failed the test. No, they haven't come out and explicitly said these athletes have XY chromosomes, but that's because the Algerian and Taiwanese Olympic Committee have refused the IBA to release these results. I mean, the requirement was have XX chromosomes, and they failed that. Therefore, let's use intuitive thinking here. Let's use our brains. We all have them. That means they have a Y chromosome. And if you have a Y chromosome, you are a male. I mean, do we need to send like half of the population back to sixth grade biology?
You just admitted that there is no such test.
They took a chromosome test, and they failed. The requirement was two XX chromosomes, and they failed. Because of the Taiwanese and the Algerian Olympic Committee, they're not allowed to explicitly say these athletes have XY.
You know what?
Go watch the 30-minute. It's a 30-minute, very brief.
You're going to keep saying everyone's lying, but the answer is just do another test and show us. And there's a reason they're not doing it. Let me bring in Michael. Michael, I think
you can make up anything. You can make up anything and then demand a test.
They were literally banned from the World Championship.
True. So
they were banned from the World Championship
by the IBA. A bunch of lunatics who've now been decertified.
So why didn't they appeal?
Because not just because of this, because they make up things one after another. This guy's totally So guys, look, we have to have the bare minimum of agreeing on facts and evidence.
You got to love what Cenk does here. Like I said, I can't stand his debate style because she outright said they failed the test. They tested for XX chromosomes, and they failed that test. And then he's like, oh, no, they didn't have the test. She just admitted it. No, as a matter of fact, she just said they made a specific test. They failed that test because it wasn't a specific XY chromosome test, right? We can all do the math. If you have a Y chromosome, that means you're a male. That's what that means. Cenk, why are you trying to deny reality here? But this is what they do when they don't have facts and evidence on their side. They just make it up. They just muddle right on through anything that they can. And once again, Cenk is the best at doing this. He is the absolute best at doing this because he will just say, you're lying. You're making it up. Because they didn't produce the test publicly. They came out and said the results. They banned them. Just logically work through this right quick. Okay, so if they passed the test, why would they ban them? What would be the point? Right? Once again, nobody asked that on this panel. If they pass the test, what is the motivation behind trying to ban these people? Why? Doesn't make any sense, does it? And once again, actions speak to reality. They didn't appeal the decision. That says everything to me. There's no motivation for them to just make this up. There's zero motivations. I can't think of any. Maybe you can. I don't know. But I can't see any motivations for them to make up that they failed this test. And then when they don't appeal it, I'm sorry. I don't need much more evidence to draw a conclusion. Look at the person. Look at what actually happened. Look at reality. And then draw a conclusion when there's no conclusion. When there's no outright conclusion. Right? You can discredit the IBA all you want to. But what is the motivation, Cenk? That's what I would like to know. Once again, maybe you guys have some more insight. Maybe you guys know a little bit more about this than I do. Let me know if you do down in the comments. But that's all I got for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching, y'all. Y'all try to have a good one and stay legitical. Peace.